007, this is urgent. Priority 1. We fear the attack may be imminent. How long until you're on the ground?
We should be down in 10 minutes.
We haven't got 10 minutes. The satellite is picking up suspicious activity near Greco's boat. You've got to get a move on now.
I'm on my way.
Change of plans. Head for the harbor.
According to our sources, General, Greco has flown in a group of international terrorists for a suicide mission. The plan is for the attack to coincide with the moment they take the group photograph.
I can't much care what your sources tell you, Em. We've checked Greco out. He is an international businessman here on vacation.
His business, sir, is international arms trading. He'd like to see all the heads of state, all the members of the G20, wiped out in one fell swoop.
Is that what your sources are telling you? Or is it your female intuition?
I'll thank you to keep my intuition out of this, General. I want you to cancel the photo op now.
Impossible. You have to have some faith, some trust in my ability to protect them.
You can keep your faith. I put my trust in Bond.
Who the hell are you? Call off the attack, Greco. It's over.
1 man against 40? I don't think so. Guards! Deal with him! Give me that! No! The bigger one! He's dead! We've wasted enough time! Get moving!
Greco! Over there!
Damn! Stay behind and stop him! We are pushing up to the Acropolis!
Where's the bomb, Greco? Last chance. Where is it?
You're too late.
Fireworks? Did you know there were going to be fireworks?
Honestly? Yes.
How did you know?
Quite honestly? Intuition. Nice to see you, 007. I was worried that you wouldn't make it in time.
Well, that makes two of us.
Well done.
Thank you.
May I get you something to drink?
Yes, I'll have a bourbon, neat.
And what can I provide for the gentleman?
I'll have...
He'll have a vodka martini.
Bond here.
Good morning, 007. I know we promised you a week's holiday after Athens, but we have a situation developing that requires immediate attention. Are you free to speak?
Yes, I can talk. I'm in a hotel. I should be online in a moment.
There you are. How much do you know about Midhurst Laboratories?
Biotech firm, publicly traded, City of London, military contractor.
But not just any military contractor. 2 years ago, Midhurst Laboratories signed a contract for some mission-critical biotechnology for our defense forces that's so secret I'm loath to discuss it even on this link.
I understand.
Good. Last week, one of their senior researchers, Malcolm Tedworth, went missing from his yacht in the English Channel. At first, the Royal Navy presumed he was dead. His boat was discovered capsized after a squall off the coast. But this morning, we received a tip that he's alive and about to sell that research to a buyer in Istanbul.
How reliable is the information?
Doubtful. An anonymous caller from a cell phone purchased at a convenience store in Madrid. The phone went dead. But soon after, the US Echelon system picked up another cell phone transmission near a construction site in downtown Istanbul, using the keywords researcher, bioweapons, and password.
It might be a trap. A setup. Any chance that it's the researcher himself? Pang of conscience, second thoughts about selling out the UK?
That's why the helicopter is landing outside your hotel. There'll be a jet waiting at the airport. And when you arrive in Istanbul, do whatever you have to, by any means necessary, to find out who's behind this. And make sure that research doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Good morning, 007. We located the cell phone that the Echelon system found and tracked it to the opening of an ancient catacomb beneath this construction site. We lost the signal when it went below ground, but you may be able to pick it up again once you get into the catacombs. Q branch, end transmission.
You! Stop! Where do you think you're going? Dr. Bond.
British Museum, Architectural Heritage Foundation. Here to study your preservation efforts.
Nah,
You can call the Turkish Ministry of Culture.
I don't care. Nobody goes down there without a hard hat.
Of course. Safety first.
He's trapped! Now! Quick! Dump him in the pit!
What is the password for the USB drive? Tell me the key to crack the code! Stop! Stop! I'll tell you. Thank you. Kill him! Let's get out of here! Let's go! I'm late for the handoff. He's here! Let's move! Make sure he's dead. I'm going to make the handoff. Damn you! We need to finish this now!
I want a name. Who are you working for?
Never.
Let's try that again. Who is it? Who hired you? Give me the name.
Pomerov. Stefan Pomerov.
And where's he taking those papers?
I don't know. I've told you everything I know. Please! Please, let me go. I'm no good to you anymore.
You got that right.
What is it, 007? Did you intercept the research?
No, the researcher is dead. But I've got the name of the buyer.
Go on.
Pomerov. Stefan Pomerov.
I've got him. Russian businessman. Nothing flagged, no police record. No unusual connections. According to the immigration data, he's in Monaco, due to leave on a flight to Moscow tonight. I'm sending you his picture and file.
Got it. Let's get in touch with our best contact in Monaco.
I'm bringing up the list now.
See if he can stall Pomerov from leaving and have him meet me at the airport.
Of course.
Good. I'll be on the next flight out.
James. I almost didn't recognize you.
I'm sorry, have we met before?
I think once. Something in England. Nicole Hunter. My friends call me Nikki.
Nicole Hunter. You're the jewelry designer.
I've been called worse. It girl, socialite.
It's nice to see you, Nicole. I'm sure you've got a plane to catch.
Actually, Em sent me.
Interesting cover. But not an unpleasant surprise. Shall we go?
The car's over there.
Nice car.
It's a friend's. Would you like to drive? I feel much safer with a man behind the wheel.
So what can you tell me about Pomerov?
Oh, he's such a lech. But he's kind of sweet for your basic Russian oligarch. He owns oil wells, diamond mines, and his own 737 with gold-plated fittings, of course.
How do you know him?
Sweetie, there are only 6 people worth dating in the world, and I've probably gone out with half of them. Turn here. Okay. The truth is, he supplies the chemicals used to alloy the gold and silver in my line of jewelry. And he's been after me to open a boutique in the casino he just bought in Monaco.
He bought the casino?
Mm-hmm. Another trinket on the must-have list for oligarchs, after a supermodel wife. So, I got him to delay his flight back to Siberia. That's where he keeps the wife at his headquarters, so she can't spend all his money. And we're going to meet in the boardroom, which should give you enough time to get into his office and break into his safe.
Well done. So how did you...
End up in bed with MI6?
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Darling, it's the perfect cover. Fashion shows, photo shoots, store openings. I get to travel the whole world, and nobody pays any attention.
Em approached you?
Not exactly.
Well, how not exactly?
Well, there was this little tax problem a few years ago.
A little tax problem.
And a small customs problem involving some diamonds.
So that's how a girl from the society pages ends up working for MI6?
Yes, James. But believe me, when necessary, I can be very discreet. You can drop me off in front of the casino. I'm gonna put on my war paint before the meeting. I'll text you on the cell phone to let you know when we're almost finished.
What was the nature of this research? I told you. We were investigating anthrax and smallpox to come up with antidotes that could be used in the field in the case of a biological attack. And there was no way to militarize them? To turn them into weapons instead of cures? No! No? So why are these documents in code? I told you. I was working at home. What is the password for the USB drive? Tell me the key to crack the code! Stop! Stop! I'll tell you. Thank you.
Here, see if this is dry enough for you.
What are you drinking?
Same thing, straight. I was never one for girly drinks.
Bond, are you there?
Yes, Em. Right here.
Nicole, do you mind if 007 and I speak privately for a moment? This is a need to know.
Of course, no problem.
We can talk. What did you find out?
We've translated all the documents you photographed in Pomerov's office this afternoon. It appears that most of them were invoices for highly sophisticated chemical manufacturing equipment. They were to be delivered to a defunct chemical refinery he's recently brought back online in Siberia.
Makes perfect sense. They tortured Tedworth, the researcher, for the code to his bioresearch formulas. He was working on anthrax and smallpox antidotes for troops in the field, but they could just as easily be weaponized.
That's what we're afraid of. No. That's what the whole world is afraid of. You've got to get there. Confirm what we think he's up to and stop him. Perhaps Miss Hunter can help you facilitate this.
Yes, I'll talk to her.
Good. Good luck, 007.
You finished?
I have to take a look at Pomerov's refinery in Siberia. Em thought you might be able to help facilitate things. I'm gonna need a flight, ground transportation, a local contact.
Wait, not so fast. I told Pomerov I'd get back to him about his business proposal. So it's the perfect cover to get the two of us into the refinery.
The two of us? Em said facilitate, not the company.
Well, how do you think I'm going to get you to Siberia?
Oh, let me guess. A friend of yours owns a plane?
May I speak with Rudolph, please?
Why am I not surprised?
You're going to love it. It's got a shower, a wine cellar, and the most unbelievable circular bed. Yes, I'll hold. What? What's that look for? You'll be enjoying all that stuff alone. I'll be in the cockpit flying the plane.
Kind of your friend Rudolph to lend us his car. You sure he won't mind?
He's got 6 of them. He won't miss it. What else are you going to spend your money on up here? Aside from diamonds and wristwatches?
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
I just can't believe Pomerov would be involved with something evil. He's always been like an uncle to me.
The entrance to the refinery is up ahead. Just do as I told you. Follow the plan, and we'll be all right. This isn't all fun and games.
You really think they're going to believe that you're my bodyguard?
I think they'd be more suspicious if you didn't have a bodyguard.
Yeah. It's Russia. You're nobody without one.
Good. Put on your best attitude and sell it.
Остановите!
I'm here to see Stefan Pomerov.
Is he expecting you?
Do you think I just dropped into Siberia? I also need somewhere for my bodyguard to wait, where he can be fed and watered.
Park the car over there, and he can wait in the shed.
Spasiba.
All right, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to get into Pomerov's office before I start causing trouble.
I can live with that.
That's the idea. Bond here.
Where are you, 007?
Pomerov's refinery. It's worse than we suspected. He's built an entire bioweapons factory. He's churning out toxins by the ton.
Can you destroy it?
Let me get back to you on that. Nicole?
James, where are you? What's taking so long?
Meet me outside with the car running as quickly as possible.
I'm on my way.
Move over! I'll drive! Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
What happened to Pomerov?
He ran off. I saw him get on the train that delivers the chemicals to the port. His men were loading them on.
Which way?
Over there.
We've got to stop him before he gets those bioweapons out of the country. Hang on!
Are you mad?
Like I said, this isn't all fun and games. Hold on! Necessarily. Nicole? Nicole? Are you alright?
Oh, I think I broke my wrist.
Here, let me see. This should work until we can get you to a doctor.
You really did turn out to be my bodyguard. What was that?
The train, it's stopping. We must be at the port. I've got to get off to Pomerov. Here, take this. Stay here.
No. Please, take me with you.
Can you handle it?
Yes. Don't leave me here.
Let's go.
Start the engines and get us out of here! Now! Set your heading for 220.
But there are boats in the way!
I don't care what's in the way. Plow through them!
There, the hovercraft. When we get on board, do you think you can pilot it?
Yes. But you've got to be careful, James. If you puncture one of those chemical johns with a bullet, the bioweapons will escape and kill everyone.
I'll keep that in mind.
We've picked up Bond's signal. It looks like they're on Pomerov's tail. Acquiring visual now. Bond and Nicole are on an assault hovercraft.
with what appear to be multiple hostiles on board. Picking up audio now. I'll patch it in.
I've got the throttle open all the way, but we're not catching up with him.
We're too heavy. I'm heading down to the hold. Maybe we can dump some cargo. All right, Nicole. Try to keep it steady. And keep the door locked. We're not alone.
Okay, will do.
Change of plans.
Tell me, Captain, are you sure your men can handle this? The safe destruction of all those bioweapons?
Bioweapons? What bioweapons? There are no bioweapons in Russia.
I see. And those men on the boat, in the hazmat suits?
That's the problem with you people in the West. You always think there are WMDs. Then you go to war over it, and then, there are none. You know what kind of paperwork I would have to fill out if there were WMDs here?
Clearly, my mistake.
Yes. And in the meantime, you can expect my government to be calling your government to register a protest for your actions here.
I wouldn't have expected anything less.
James, are you all right?
Better than you.
Oh, this? It's given me an entirely new idea for a line of bracelets.
Indeed.
The cast will be off in a week. It's nothing that a few days at a private beach in Bermuda won't take care of. Care to join me? I've got a plane waiting.
I wish I could. But I've still got some mopping up to do here.
You sure? We might be able to get into all sorts of interesting trouble together.
Well, the offer's tempting, but... By the way, what about your friend? Isn't he going to be upset about destroying his car?
He probably expected it. He already thinks I'm a terrible driver. I wreck everyone I get into.
Back in London, they say the same thing about me. Anyway.
Congratulations on stopping Pomerov.
Thank you. And thank you for helping me facilitate things.
You sure I can't convince you to come with me?
Positive.
Well, I hope I get to see you again.
I'm sure our paths will cross.
Ciao.
Take care.
I can't believe you let her go. She wanted you.
I need a room. A private room.
You should have asked for that while she was still here.
Don't you have some cleaning up to do? Some non-existent bioweapons?
Second floor of the police station. Third door on your right. And make sure you say hello to MI6 for me.
I'll give them your best. Bond here.
Yes, I've been waiting to hear from you, 007.
Pomerov's dead. The factory is destroyed. The remaining bioweapons have been turned over to the Russians.
I know. The Prime Minister has already heard from their government. It's threatening to become a diplomatic nightmare. I want you out of there. Back in London for a full debriefing.
No. This isn't over. The anonymous tip we received about the bioweapons couldn't have been from the researcher. He was being tortured at the time. Somebody wanted us to get to Pomerov. And the question is, who and why?
So how do you want to proceed?
When I took the courier's cell phone in Istanbul, all the phone calls on it were local, except for one that he didn't answer. Have Tanner and Q Branch find that phone. I want to know who the courier was avoiding and why.
Wei?
Good morning, Colonel Ping.
Good morning, Commander Bond. To what do I owe the pleasure of this phone call?
I'd like to know why a top Chinese agent was trying to contact a courier in Istanbul.
Perhaps it's the same reason a British agent was following him.
Are you suggesting an alliance?
You'll find me at the aquarium in Bangkok tomorrow night. Come alone. It's the only way I can guarantee your safety.
Funny. I was just going to issue the same warning to you.
Ping? Is that you?
Tell me, Commander Bond, how much do you know about whales?
Not much. Enough to know they shouldn't be kept in aquariums. Apart from that, I wouldn't like to end up in one.
Then maybe you can understand what it's like to live inside the world's biggest country. There are 1.3 billion people living in China today, Mr. Bond. 1.3 billion Chinese who need to be fed and housed and clothed every day, every week, year in, year out.
I am aware of the numbers.
But perhaps not the implications.
Go on.
It's not that we're not as smart or as technologically savvy as the West. We invented gunpowder and currency while you were still living in caves. But in every society, there are those who would cheat. Those who would steal to gain any advantage.
The researcher, industrial espionage. Someone in China was behind this. One of your people kidnapped and killed him.
No, something worse. An economic mercenary. Someone who would steal the most dangerous technological secrets and sell them to the highest bidder. Not out of ideology or politics, but for money and power to turn us against each other.
But who? Where? How do we find him and stop him?
My team was in Geneva, following up on a link to this man. Do you recognize him?
No.
His name is Rak. He was born in northern Mongolia, on the contested border between Russia and China, and has no love for either. He keeps his money and his mistress in Switzerland.
But he operates out of Bangkok.
If it's illegal, he's got a piece of it. At first, we thought he was a middleman in all this, but...
Stop! Take one more step and you're dead. Throw down the gun.
No, just by talking to you, Rock is going to kill both of us! Get that body to the morgue and find me the other driver.
Bond.
Good to see you're alive, 007. We tracked your cell phone to Bangkok, but the GPS coordinates haven't moved in 6 hours.
I may be closing in on the people behind the researcher's kidnapping. I need to have Q Branch run a data check on a man named Rack. Banking, business associates. Have them contact me with names and addresses.
Will do. But I should warn you. We've been following news reports that the Thai police are looking for an Englishman who destroyed half of Bangkok last night in a car chase.
And what makes you think it was me?
Do you really want me to answer that question?
Can I call you back?
Good evening, sir. Can I show you to a table?
No. But you can show me to the boss.
He's behind there.
My good man. Is there some way I can be of service?
I'm looking for a man.
What kind of man?
Your kind of man. Someone who preys on the helpless, sees the world as corrupt, and wants a piece of it.
You know me too well, James. How on earth did you find me?
Well, if you turn over enough rocks in enough cities, you're bound to be under one of them.
You know they ran me out of Saigon.
Was that after or before they ran you out of Athens? Or was it Ibiza? I lost track after Johannesburg.
Can I interest you in a girl?
I'll settle for some information.
Same old James. But what makes you think I'm gonna give up Rack without some kind of compensation?
Because I know you, Silky. And I know that you don't care whether Rack lives or dies, but you wouldn't mind having the 20% back that he probably skims from this place every week.
Rack has a secret boathouse on the Chao Phraya River. But I'll bet you won't make it there alive.
I'll take the bet. Add it to what you owe me from last time.
And good day to you too, sir. There's an Englishman on his way to see Rack. My money says he won't make it. And you know how much I hate to lose my money. Don't let me down.
It's over, Rack. You're finished. I know about the kidnappings, the bioweapons, the missing researchers. I'll give you one last chance, Rack.
You should have quit while you had the chance. Welcome to your final destination, Mr. Bond. You're in Burma. Your last stop. The end of the line. The place where your sad story comes to an ugly end.
So how does it work, Rack? What do? Fly your kidnapped victims here and torture them until they give up their corporate secrets?
Take a very good look at this knife, Mr. Bond. It's platinum, encrusted with precious stones and diamonds, designed to elicit the most exquisite pain when I use it to eviscerate a man and skin him alive. You talk, Mr. Bond. You give up your secrets. Sooner or later, they all do.
You could kill me, Rack. But MI6 will send somebody else. Either way, you're as good as dead right now.
Wait. I'll be there as soon as I can. Get my helicopter ready. We're going to Bangkok. When I return, Mr. Bond, we're going to string you up in the yard and bring all the prisoners around to watch. After they see me cut your tongue out, it may help loosen theirs. my way!
Point of impact unknown. It plunged through the canopy. Assumed kill. Repeat. Assumed kill. No. I want physical proof. Set down and fight him. Yes, sir. Pressing that.
Bond, help me.
You had your chance, Rack.
Please, save me. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you who I'm working with.
Too late. I already know.
The company had sales of 8.4 million euros last year. The owner, a British industrialist named Simon Porter, has developed a proprietary solar panel technology using a new kind of monocrystalline silicon wafer, enhanced with copper indium diselenide to bring the cost of electricity down to less than €1 per kilowatt hour.
Interesting. Have we inquired whether there's a market for this technology?
Our contacts in North Korea have already said they'd pay handsomely for it.
And Mr. Porter? He lives in London.
Yes, but you should be aware that the Ministry of Defense has expressed interest in the company, which could bring MI6 into it, if we go ahead with Porter as our next target.
I appreciate your concern, but I don't think MI6 is going to be a problem anymore. Yes?
This just came for you.
Thank you. So then, we are all agreed that he's our next target.
What is it? Is something wrong?
No. Nothing. I have to leave. The meeting is adjourned.
Nicole, stop! Don't move!
Hello, James. Fancy meeting like this?
Drop the gun. Move away from the railing. Nicole, drop the gun!
Or what? You'll shoot me?
I'd prefer to bring you back alive, but it makes no difference to me.
When did you figure it out?
That's not important. I want to know why. Why did you do it?
There was a man. A rich and powerful man. I would have done anything for him. He asked me to help him. At first it was innocent.
And then?
I thought I could prove myself by destroying Pomerov's operation.
You did it for love?
No. You of all people should know. I didn't want to grow old, alone, and poor.
Who? Who is it?
It won't make a difference.
I want a name.
You don't understand. He's everywhere. He's bigger than you, bigger than MI6, bigger than everything. And he's watching us, right now. There is no escape.
Nicole, down! Get down!
Bond? Are you there? Come in, 007. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
We've been concerned about you, 007. What happened?
I'm fine, Em. But I think you're gonna need a new contact in Monaco. If you need me, you know how to reach me. Bond out.
Diga.
Señor White.
Sí, ¿quién es?
Señor White, tenemos que hablar.
¿Por qué no recapacitas, Bond? ¡Matadlo!
Creo que deberíamos ir a un sitio algo más tranquilo.
Mitchell.
Aquí Tanner, confirmando entrega.
Confirmado. White está bajo custodia. M y Bond hablarán con él. Sala 1.
¿Vas a decirnos para quién trabajas?
Siempre quise conocerte, Bond. Vesper me habló mucho de ti. ¿Sabes qué es una lástima? Si ella no se hubiera suicidado ya la habríamos cogido. Creo que habrías hecho cualquier cosa por ella.
Señor White, ya sabes que no estás en Gran Bretaña y quién sabe dónde estarás mañana. Acabarás por contarnos todo sobre la gente con la que trabajas y cuanto más tiempo lleve, más doloroso lo haremos.
Pues lo primero que debéis saber es que tenemos gente en todas partes. ¿No es así, Mitchell?
M, sal de aquí.
Señora, ¿se encuentra bien?
Tenemos un agente muerto. White también ha sido alcanzado. El tirador es Mitchell. Se ha dado la fuga.
Perdón, señora. ¿Dijo Mitchell?
Sí, Mitchell, mi guardaespaldas. Avisad al jefe del puesto de Siena. Mitchell nos ha traicionado. Se ha dado a la fuga. Hay que atraparlo.
¡Maldición! Aquí Durmiente 1, vehículo de huida fuera. Voy a pie al punto secundario de recogida. Equipo Delta, informad.
Aquí Delta 1, Durmiente. Te tengo a la vista. Equipo en posición. Cambio.
Vigilad mi espalda, Delta. Bond pasó. Espero que lo detengáis.
Recibido. Cambio.
Durmiente, aquí Zorro 1. Ruta secundaria de evacuación despejada desde lo alto.
Y viene.
¿Tenías que matar a Mitchell? ¿No podrías habérnoslo entregado para que pudiéramos descubrir algo?
¿Tenemos a White?
Ha escapado. Volvemos a estar como al principio. ¿Qué sabemos de Mitchell?
Le pagaban en una cuenta haitiana financiada por un empresario llamado Dominique Green.
Te acabamos de enviar su foto. Se va a reunir con alguien.
El general Medrano. Hemos oído rumores de un golpe en Bolivia. Quizá tu hombre, Green, está también implicado. Bolivia está sufriendo una terrible sequía. La gente está desesperada. Medrano ha estado socavando la autoridad del gobierno con la esperanza de asumir el poder.
¿Puedes identificar a la mujer?
Camille Rivera, Servicio Secreto Boliviano.
Intentó matar a Medrano.
Espera, Green presentó planes de vuelo para Bregenz, Austria.
No lo pierdas, Bond. Medrano será fácil de localizar. Te quiero tras Green. Bond, ¿dónde estás?
¿Recibisteis mis fotos?
¿Podéis relacionar a esta gente?
¿Eso de tu voz es estrés?
Tienes que venir.
No tengo tiempo.
Bond, has matado a un miembro de la División Especial.
¿A quién protegía?
Solo necesitas saber que es uno de los asesores más cercanos del primer ministro, lo que lo convierte en uno de los hombres más poderosos de Gran Bretaña. Por eso debes venir aquí.
Aún no. Green y los suyos piensan ayudar al general Medrano a tomar el poder en Bolivia.
Insisto en que vuelvas.
Os volveré a llamar.
Eso ha sonado como disparos.
Hemos logrado localizarlo. Está en un avión cerca de La Paz con Camille Rivera.
Enviad a alguien a por él.
Alguien va tras ellos.
El general Medrano. Bond ha descubierto. ¿Sobrevivirá?
Tendrán que saltar. Ese avión no aguantará. Ya está, han saltado. Caen rápido. Se han juntado en el aire. Deben de tener un único paracaídas para los dos. Siguen cayendo. 5.000 pies. 4.000 pies. Han alcanzado velocidad terminal. ¡Vamos, Bond! Se ha abierto el paracaídas. Han frenado. Ahora solo tenemos que encontrarlos antes que Medrano.
James.
¡Corre! ¡Ponte a cubierto! ¿Por qué vas a por Medrano?
Mi padre era militar. Cuando yo era niña, el general Medrano vino a mi casa, disparó a mi padre y estranguló a mi madre y a mi hermana. Yo era muy pequeña para ser un problema. La próxima vez será diferente.
Parece que los dos usamos a Green para llegar a alguien.
Tú también perdiste a alguien.
Sí, exacto.
Parece nuestro hombre. Cicatrices en la cara. Dimos con el fabricante de armas.
Deja de tocarte la oreja.
¿Perdón?
¡Baja la mano!
Me vieron. Está en marcha.
Enfunda la puñetera arma, Carter. Lo necesito vivo.
El terrorista que mataste trabajaba para un tipo llamado Le Chiffre, un banquero al servicio del terrorismo. Le Chiffre manipuló las acciones creyendo que ganaría una fortuna cuando destruyera su prototipo. En vez de eso, ha perdido más de 100 millones de los fondos de sus clientes, incluido dinero que pertenece al rebelde ugandés Steven Obano.
¿Le Chiffre ha estado jugando a la bolsa con el dinero de Obano? No le hará gracia cuando se entere.
Razón de más para detener a Le Chiffre en cuanto podamos.
¿Queréis a Le Chiffre con vida?
Ya lo creo. Para recuperar el dinero, Le Chiffre ha organizado una partida de póker de alto riesgo en el Casino Royal en Montenegro. Te meteré en la partida. Si Le Chiffre pierde, le daremos asilo a cambio de todo lo que sabe. Ocuparás el lugar de un tal Bliss. Tienes billete reservado en el mismo tren a Montenegro. Te dejaré a ti las explicaciones.
Soy el dinero.
Cada penique.
El gobierno ha accedido a avalarte en el juego.
Vesper, yo me hubiera vengado de mis padres.
Habrás sopesado que si pierdes, nuestro gobierno habrá financiado directamente el terrorismo.
No crees que esto sea un buen plan, ¿no?
¿Pero hay un plan? Creí que estábamos arriesgando millones de dólares en un juego de azar.
Entonces sabrás que uno nunca juega con sus cartas, juega con el de enfrente. Pero naturalmente no podré jugar hasta que encuentre a Bliss. ¿Lo has visto?
No. El MI6 te indicará dónde encontrarlo. Buenas noches, Bond.
Señora,
¿Qué tal la partida? ¿Ha empezado Bond con buen pie?
hasta ahora se adelantaron con Le Chiffre y los hombres de Obano se lo llevaron al casino.
Obano ha perdido millones invirtiendo con Le Chiffre y ha venido a cobrar. ¿Dónde está Bond?
Ve tras ellos.
Bien, no podemos permitir que hagan daño a Le Chiffre. Hay que detener a Obano y sus hombres.
Esto es una pérdida de tiempo. No tengo intención de engañar a Obano.
Díselo en persona.
¡Moveos!
Mejor no hagas ruido. Obano ha ocupado la planta. Tendrá hombres por todas partes.
¡Cuidado!
¿Es eso vano?
O lo que queda de él. Mandé a alguien a ocuparse del cuerpo.
¿Y Leslie?
Vuelta a la mesa, su juego es malo. Bond podrá con él, ha ganado las 2 últimas manos.
Me han dicho que es el mejor jugador que tenemos.
Puedo dar fe.
Cuando Leslie pierda, quiero que lo detengan lo más discretamente posible. Un hombre acorralado es peligroso. ¿Quién sabe qué es capaz de hacer?
Sí, señora.
Bond, no pierdas de vista a Le Chiffre. Cuando acabe la partida tendremos que actuar con rapidez. Bond, confirma, por favor. Señora, no responde.
Monsieur, es su...
¿Le ocurre algo a tu bebida, Bliss?
Bond, tu ritmo cardíaco se ha disparado. Parece que te han...
Lo sé. Reparta sin mí.
Tienes que salir del casino e ir a tu coche. Usa el desfibrilador del Aston Martin. Sin él morirás en pocos minutos.
Etienne, ¿ves a la chica?
La acaban de subir a la barcaza.
Avísame cuando la tengan bajo la cubierta y llevaremos a Bond.
Vale, pero no lo pierdas de vista.
Sebastián no le quita ojo de encima. Bond no va a ninguna parte.
Tanner.
Bond, ¿estás bien? ¿Qué ha
¡Detrás de ti!
No lo localizo. Perdí su teléfono. Para rastrear su GPS necesito una señal.
¿Entonces podemos encender su teléfono?
Eso hago. Pero aunque hallemos el teléfono, no habremos encontrado a Bond. Podría estar...
Es Bond.
La policía va en camino.
Dame el dinero.
Y ese es Le Chiffre. El teléfono de Bond tiene cámara. Voy a pasarla a la pantalla. Dios mío.
Eso no estaba dirigido a Bond. Demasiado lejos. Hay alguien más allí.
Conseguiré el dinero. Diles que lo conseguiré.
¿Quién es?
No tengo ni idea.
El dinero no vale tanto como saber en quién confiar.
Pero acaba de matar a Le Chiffre.
Adelántalo a mediados de agosto. El 14.
Tanner, necesito a Bond inmediatamente. ¿Dónde están ahora?
Venecia. Bond está en la habitación. Vesper acaba de salir. La primera vez hoy. Esos dos apenas salen a coger aire.
Eso está a punto de cambiar. Se acabaron las vacaciones y no solo para Bond.
Diga.
Bond, tengo aquí a un señor del tesoro. Les gustaría cobrar las ganancias, pero están teniendo problemas para acceder a tu cuenta. El dinero no está. Lo han retirado.
Tengo que irme.
No puedes ayudarme. Vete. Vete mientras puedas. Por favor.
Tenía un novio, franco-argelino. Estaban muy enamorados. A él lo secuestró la organización que respaldaba a Lechif y a ella la chantajearon. Y ahora nunca sabremos quién estaba detrás de él.
Se dejó el móvil. Sabía que yo lo miraría.
Sabía que tú eres tú. James, ¿nunca te has preguntado por qué no te mataron aquella noche? Hizo un trato. Entregó el dinero para salvarte la vida. Averigua a quién se lo entregó.
Señor White.
Sí, ¿quién es?
Y sus esfuerzos no habrán sido en vano.
¿Cogiste a quién lo hizo?
No, todavía no. Vamos, volvamos al hotel.
Tenemos a Camille abajo. Pide que te diga que lo siente, pero que esta no es su lucha.
No lo es. Soltadla.
Presta atención. Creí que podía confiar en ti. Dijiste que la venganza no te motivaba.
A mí me motiva mi deber.
No. Estás tan cegado por una rabia incontenible que no te importa a quién haces daño. Cuando no distingues entre amigos y enemigos es hora de dejarlo. Queda relevado del servicio y suspendido pendiente de investigación.
Preparad el transporte. Llega el paquete.
Al ascensor. Bond está suelto. Está... ¡Maldición!
Tanner, localiza a Camille Rivera, la agente boliviana. No tendrá nadie más a quien recurrir.
La tengo. Ahora habla con él.
No puedes matar a Medrano y sobrevivir, no sin ayuda.
No salgas a la calle hasta que veas mi coche. Vamos al desierto. Medrano no puede moverse hasta que pague al ejército. Green va a traerle el dinero. Se reunirán en la perla de las dunas.
Tanner, ¿conoces el nombre? ¿Cuál es?
Un hotel, muy apartado y completamente autosuficiente. No hay nada más en 800 kilómetros. ¿Envío a un equipo? ¿Detenemos a Bond?
No, Bond es mi agente. Debería haber confiado en él. Si alguien puede detener a Green y a Medrano, es él.
Green se ha traído a sus guardaespaldas.
Puedes ocuparte de Green. Déjame a Medrano.
Recuerda, respira hondo. Solo necesitas un disparo, que sea bueno.
Te veo dentro. Control, aquí Desierto 1. Decidle a Londres que no se preocupe. Tengo contacto visual. Bond está vivo.
¿Estás bien?
Medrano está al fin muerto. Y no dejo de pensar. ¿Y ahora qué?
Para ti se ha acabado, pero para mí no.
general Medrano está muerto. Green también. Enhorabuena.
¿Por qué? Aún nos falta White y su organización sigue existiendo. Necesito un nombre, el tipo de la ópera.
Guy Haynes. Necesito que vuelvas, Bond.
Nunca me había ido.
Espera un momento, White. Tienen mi nombre. Nada más.
Rebobina, enséñame la última parte, el gráfico.
Voy a entrar.
Necesitamos a Haynes con vida, recuérdalo.
Inicio de transmisión segura. Buenos días, 007. Durante los últimos 3 años, un general ruso, Arkady Ourumov, ha estado robando equipo militar soviético y vendiéndolo en el mercado negro. Creemos que está a punto de enviar un cargamento de armas de última generación a una organización terrorista que pretende atacar nuestras embajadas. Su misión es infiltrarse en su base de operaciones junto al agente 006, destruir el cargamento de armas y, si es necesario, eliminar al general Ourumov. 006 ya ha estudiado las instalaciones. El tiempo es vital, 007. Un avión de carga no identificado está en camino y recogerá las armas de los terroristas en 45 minutos. ¿Entendido?
Confirmado. Estamos en posición.
Buena suerte, James. MI6, corto.
Bienvenido. El MI6 nos ha dado luz verde para la misión.
Esperemos el último camión. Yo el de la izquierda, tú el de la derecha. Ya, vamos.
¿Guerras, chicas? No, hablo de acción. Somos soldados, no guardias. Buscamos acción. Vivimos para la acción. Somos hombres de acción. Aquí no pasa nada.
Buen trabajo, James.
Como en los viejos tiempos.
Ocúpate de la torre. Ojo con el francotirador. Voy por el camión.
Ej, ty! Wychodzi z Grozowika.
Качун проблема, сержант.
Спец доставка из Москвы. 15 минут никому de hostia.
Почему я никогда не видел тебя? De nowy?
Переведен.
Давайте документы.
Я сказал, wychodzi z Grozowika.
Salgamos de aquí, Alex.
Venga, James.
¿Qué demonios hacen con uno de esos?
No hay tiempo. Vámonos. Venga, James. ¡Deprisa!
¿Qué demonios pasa ahí arriba? ¿Alguna novedad? Bien, seguro que es otra inspección por sorpresa. Como si no hubiera suficiente trabajo. Antes solían...
¿Has visto ese helicóptero?
Sí. ¿Qué le pasa?
Parecía blindado contra IM, diseñado para resistir a un impulso electromagnético.
La explosión del cargamento de armas se ocupará de él.
Voy a hacer una foto para el MI6.
No pierdas tiempo. Llegarás tarde al punto de encuentro. ¡Deprisa! ¡Yo te cubro!
¡Manos arriba!
¡Quítatelo!
¡Dámelo!
Si insistes.
See reflections on the water, more than darkness in the depths. See him surface and never a shadow. On the winds I feel his breath. Golden eye found his weakness. Golden eye will do what I please. Golden eye, no time for sweetness, but a bitter kiss will bring him to his knees. You'll never know how I watched you from the shadows as a child. You'll never know how it feels to get so close and be denied. It's a gold and honey drop I've got for you tonight. Revenge, it's a kiss. This time I won't miss. Now I've got you in my sights with the golden eye. Golden, golden eye. With the golden eye. Golden eye. With the golden
Buen truco. Hacerlo sin paracaídas. Me haces quedar mal.
Dijiste que íbamos retrasados. Vámonos.
Oye, James. ¿Por Inglaterra?
Por Inglaterra, Alec. Siempre por Inglaterra. Te tengo, Alec.
Bien. Aquí no podemos hablar con el MI6. Pero lo haremos entre nosotros, por los canales de la banda lateral de ultra baja frecuencia. Tenemos 19 minutos hasta que hagan la recogida. Deberían bastar siempre que Ourumov no nos vea.
Me encargaré de los depósitos.
Me ocuparé del cargamento. El último invita a la primera.
De acuerdo.
Salga. Tire el arma y dejaré que viva.
No lo hagas, James. No le escuches.
¡Cállese! ¡Alto el fuego! ¡Nos mataréis a todos! Tiene 10 segundos. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Termina el trabajo, James. Hazlos volar.
4, 3, 2. Muy tarde. Dejó morir a su amigo. Ahora es su turno.
Pon a MI6.
Adelante, Bob.
Necesito una extracción.
Aquí Tanner. Tiempo estimado para la extracción, 9 minutos.
No tengo 9 minutos. Búscame una salida.
Hay un avión al otro lado del aeródromo repostando para despegar.
Bon a MI6. La base ha sido destruida. 006 ha muerto.
Lo siento, James.
Él ya conocía los riesgos.
¿Qué hay de Urumov?
No está claro.
Quiero que regrese a Londres, Bond.
No, ese helicóptero, la foto que envié.
Es un Ludmila T-1 modificado, blindado contra IEM.
Revisa los contactos de Urumov con todo lo que tengas. Necesitamos saber quién necesita un helicóptero capaz de resistir un IEM.
Empezamos de inmediato.
Bon, corto.
MI6 a Bond. Hemos descubierto que Urumov ha estado recibiendo transferencias de dinero importantes de una corporación nigeriana tapadera conocida como el Grupo Jano. Además, anoche telefoneó un gángster ruso llamado Zukovsky en busca de un helicóptero con blindaje contra IEM. El ruso opera desde un club nocturno de Barcelona. La policía local tiene un topo, un tal sargento García, que puede poneros en contacto. El único rasgo físico conocido de Zukovsky es una terrible cicatriz en la mejilla derecha.
¿Ese Zukovsky se llama Valentine?
¿Cómo lo sabes?
La cicatriz se la hice yo.
Deténgase ahí, por favor. Deposite sus armas. Gracias, señor. Ah, sí. Está aquí. Sí, señor. El señor Briggs lo espera al final de las escaleras. Disfruten. James Bond, Sky Briggs, jefe de seguridad. Demos una vuelta. Le enseñaré esto. Sé que a su jefa le preocupa que los rusos puedan irse de rositas con ese helicóptero blindado contra IEM. Pero le aseguro que es totalmente imposible. Mis chicos están haciendo un gran trabajo. Habría que estar loco para intentar dar un golpe aquí con toda esta potencia de fuego. Si se mueve, lo mataremos. Por cierto, si ve algo que le guste, podría conseguirle un descuento para profesionales. En cualquier caso, quiero presentarle a los pilotos. Solían trabajar en Blackwater, pilotando cobras entre Kandahar y Kabul. Ese helicóptero no podría estar en mejores manos. ¡Nos atacan!
MI6, Tanner a Bond. Hace una hora, el helicóptero de Urumov aterrizó en una base remota de Siberia. Los rusos afirman que es un observatorio del cambio climático sin propósito militar. Pero hace 25 minutos, alguien envió una señal de emergencia por canales militares. Los rusos ya han movilizado tropas de combate y acaban de añadir 2 MiG. Tu misión es evitar a las tropas rusas, infiltrarte en la base y averiguar qué traman. Una última cosa. Tu nuevo móvil es un modelo blindado contra IEM. Si la cosa se pone fea, nuestros satélites quedarán inutilizados temporalmente. Pero tu móvil seguirá funcionando. Tanner, corto.
¿Sabes algo de los de la sala de servidores?
Sí, trabajan en ello.
Bon a MI6. ¿Me recibes?
Te recibo.
Estoy dentro. Es un centro de control. Estoy investigando. Debo llegar a la sala de servidores. ¿Me recibes? ¿Te encuentras bien?
¡Déjame en paz! ¡Aléjate de mí!
¡Basta! ¿Quién eres? ¿Para qué se usa este lugar?
¡Suéltame!
He venido a ayudar.
Dispararon a mis amigos. Mataron a todos.
Volveremos a vernos. Tú activaste la señal de emergencia, ¿verdad?
Sí. ¿Quién eres?
Un amigo, salgamos de aquí.
Sígueme. Conozco el camino. Gracias. Y ahora, adiós.
Espera. Estás en peligro. Estoy aquí para ayudarte. ¿Quién eres? ¿Qué haces aquí?
Natalia Simonova. Ingeniera informática. Del satélite GoldenEye.
¡Quietos! ¡Están detenidos!
Gracias. Podría haberlo hecho yo misma.
Bien. Volveré a preguntárselo, señor Bond. ¿Cómo quiere ser ejecutado? ¿Conoce la pena por terrorismo en Rusia?
¿Quién es el traidor en su gobierno? ¿Qué sabe sobre el grupo llano?
¿Por qué activó el GoldenEye?
¡Basta! Los dos. Parecen niños con juguetes. Fue Ourumov.
¿El general Ourumov? ¿Por qué iba a hacer algo así?
Había dos satélites GoldenEye. Ha activado uno para poder robar el otro.
General Ourumov.
Ministro Miskin, ¿cómo se atreve a interrogar a este hombre a mis espaldas? Él es un espía que ha matado al ministro con su arma. ¡Vamos! Suerte, señor Bond. ¿Ha matado al ministro?
Bon a MI6, necesito que sigas a un Humvee por las calles de San Petersburgo. Lleva un tanque detrás.
¡Detenedlo! ¡Que no escape! Suelte su arma, señor Bond. Parece que su pequeña aventura ha llegado a su fin.
¿Qué va a hacer con el satélite GoldenEye?
Me temo que no es asunto tuyo. Deberías haber aceptado mi vodka. Sospecho que la resaca que te va a dejar esto será peor. Deme el controlador.
Ese no era el plan.
No se lo dé. Usted sabe que es falso, pero ella no. Piensa matarlo de todas maneras.
Buen intento, pero solo funciona una vez. Deme el controlador.
Pensé que debía dárselo a...
Se equivocó. Disfruta de tu muerte, Bond. Ocupaos.
¿Te encuentras bien?
Sí.
¡Cuidado! ¿Te encuentras bien?
Sí, creo que sí.
¿Has averiguado algo sobre Orumov?
Hizo una llamada sobre una reunión esta noche en el parque de las estatuas.
Tengo un contacto que puede cuidar de ti en la ciudad.
No, iré contigo al parque de las estatuas.
De eso nada.
¿Sabes cómo desarmar el GoldenEye?
Lo discutiremos por el camino.
Voy contigo.
No, demasiado peligroso. ¿Sabes usar esto?
Sí, creo que sí.
Volveré.
Hola, James.
Alec, estás vivo.
No gracias a ti. Tuviste que hacerte el patriota y detonar aquellas bombas antes de que las desactivásemos.
Tú eres Llano, el dios de las dos caras que vengó a los traidores con una lluvia de fuego. ¿Por qué?
¿Por qué? Fíjate en los últimos 10 años. Las guerras, el caos económico. ¿Quién? ¿Quién se ha beneficiado? Creías que estabas protegiendo a la reina y al país. Pero lo importante son los banqueros y sus beneficios. Sabes, pensé en pedirte que te unieras a mi pequeño proyecto, pero tú siempre fuiste leal a la misión. No a tu amigo. ¿Por Inglaterra, Jimmy? Creo que no.
Bon a MI6.
¿Qué ha pasado, Bond? ¿Estás bien? ¿Qué necesitas?
Un avión. Tengo que ir a África.
MI6 a Bonn. Buenos días, 007. Gracias a la foto que envió, hemos averiguado que Pan African Power ha construido recientemente unas instalaciones de energía limpia en un área protegida del noroeste de Nigeria.
En la imagen de satélite no parece haber nada raro. Te estamos enviando las coordenadas. Te mandaré los planos de planta en cuanto los recibamos. Manténnos al tanto de tus avances, 007. MI6 corto.
Bonn a MI6. Estoy a 10 minutos del objetivo.
Recibido, 007. Bond, ¿puedes oírme? ¿Estás bien? Adelante, Bond. ¿Estás ahí?
Sí. Sí.
¿Qué ocurre, Bond? ¿Qué ha pasado?
Un misil tierra-aire. Pero estoy bien.
Tienes que largarte. Hay patrullas buscándote. Tendrás que seguir a pie y esquivarlas. Las instalaciones no están muy lejos.
Volvemos a vernos, señor Bond. Esta vez no fallaré. Lo diré de nuevo. Disfruta de tu muerte, señor Bond.
Esta vez, invito yo. Bonn a MI6. He llegado a las instalaciones solares.
Buen trabajo, Bond. Y James, cuando se enfrente a 006, recuerde que Trevelyan sabe perfectamente que la pena por traición en el Reino Unido es cadena perpetua. No tiene nada por lo que vivir. Tenga cuidado, 007. Ya he perdido un agente. No quiero perder otro. MI6, corto.
MI6 a Bond. Estoy enviando los planos. Hay una planta de refrigeración justo al norte de tu posición actual. Tendrás que colocar explosivos en ella para desestabilizar las instalaciones principales. Tanner, corto.
¡Suelta el arma! ¡Manos arriba! ¡Estás rodeado!
Llévame con Llano.
¡Dámelo! ¡Ya! ¡Ya!
Alineación de blanco al 60%.
Hola, James. Llegas justo a tiempo. Me has conseguido la tapadera perfecta. Vamos a usar su huella en el control del GoldenEye para detonar el arma. Ponedla en la silla.
Muy interesante, Alec. Pirateas los bancos, transfieres el dinero electrónicamente y borras tus huellas con una explosión de IM.
No solo los bancos, James. Todo lo que los banqueros han tocado. La bolsa, los registros financieros, todas las transacciones de todos los ordenadores de Londres. Todas desaparecerán en menos de 4 minutos.
No es nada más que un robo de banco elaborado.
Dame su móvil. ¿Cómo es? ¿Pulso aquí para desarmar los explosivos? ¿O has reprogramado los botones?
¿Me conoces bien, Alec? Pulsa y averígualo.
Has perdido, James. Usa su dedo para activar el arma. Enfoca los espejos y envía una señal. ¿Cuándo estará sobre Londres?
3 minutos, 15 segundos.
Excelente. Piratea los bancos y empieza a transferir el dinero.
¿Puedes mover el satélite?
Sí, pero tardaré un poco.
Haz lo que puedas. Yo te cubriré.
¡Maldición!
¿Qué pasa?
Debe de haber un control en la torre.
Atención.
Coge esto.
Fuego en las pasarelas exteriores.
Volveré.
Recalibración orbital al 10%.
¡Vamos!
Vas a tener que esforzarte más,
Recalibración orbital al 20%.
No. Por mí. ¿Estás bien?
¿Ahora? Sí.
Un momento. Aquí, Bond.
Bien hecho, 007. Hemos recibido confirmación de que el satélite Golden haya sido destruido y estamos en contacto con el primer ministro y con el embajador ruso por Ourumov y Trevelyan. Me gustaría tener un informe en mi escritorio el próximo lunes, con todos los detalles de la operación y una lista de recomendaciones.
M.
He indicado al señor
¿Estás
Daniel
ahí?
que lo ayude en todo lo posible.
Creo que se está cortando. Gracias. Podría haberlo hecho yo mismo.
I'm ahead of the train, Mum. What are my orders?
Eliminate Patrice. He must not get away.
I'm in position, Mum. Lining up a shot.
Do you have the shot?
Negative. I do not have a clear shot. They're heading towards another tunnel.
Take the bloody shot. Now!
Let's get out of here. We got a plane waiting to take you to Washington.
Felix wanted to make sure you had a comfortable flight. It's another hour to Washington, but I've got to keep an eye on the autopilot.
Go figure. Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
Bond here.
Morning, 007. I need an update. Did you learn anything from Goldfinger's assistant?
The girl is dead.
What?
He must have gotten wind of our investigation.
The Treasury is convinced Goldfinger is behind the rising gold prices. I want you on the next flight to his headquarters in Switzerland.
I'm on my way.
Montana to Bond. We need proof Goldfinger is smuggling gold out of the UK. You need to gather the evidence we can use to arrest him and get out. Stay undercover.
I need the final loading weights on the canisters.
I've told you before. I don't work for you. I work for Goldfinger. If you've got a problem, bring it up with him.
You've got 30 minutes.
Bond to MI6. I think there's more to Goldfinger's operation than we thought. I'm going to investigate. Bond to MI6. Goldfinger's got enough nerve gas to take out half of London.
Make sure this has been packaged securely. I want you to double-check the canisters.
He's just walked into view.
Yes, sir.
I'm tired of Ling ignoring me. You change the weight of those canisters, my pilots are in danger. The deal is off.
Pussy. My darling Pussy. Your pilots are well paid. Mr. Ling knows what he's doing. Operation Grand Slam will proceed, with or without you. Now, let's get back to work. All of you!
Bond, go after that girl. I want to know everything there is to know about Operation Grand Slam.
Will do. Bond out.
Damn health and safety rules. In case I drop an
Bond,
airplane
you must avoid detection at all cost.
Can I help you?
I want to know what you're up to with Goldfinger.
That's none of your business.
It became my business when Goldfinger's assistant turned up in a hotel room dead, painted gold.
Jill.
What is Goldfinger doing with a shipment of nerve gas?
I don't know. I don't know anything about nerve gas.
Where does Goldfinger have the plans for Operation Grand Slam?
In his office.
Take me there, now.
Okay. Stay behind me. If anybody asks, I'll do the talking. James, I swear I didn't know about the nerve gas. I thought we were just going to knock the soldiers out. I didn't agree to kill anyone.
What soldiers? Where?
The United States. Kentucky. That's all I knew.
Of course. Fort Knox.
Who are you calling?
A friend. Felix Leiter, at the CIA.
Goldfinger. Thank God you're here. He forced me to bring him up to your office.
Yes, I saw. We meet again, Mr. Bond. I thought you would have taken the hint in Miami. I'm not a man to be trifled with. I'll deal with you later. You'll deal with Bond now. Good day, Mr. Bond.
Start the engine. Drive back to the complex.
If you insist. You might want to fasten your seatbelt. I'd hate to lose a passenger.
Worry about yourself, not me.
As you please.
This is gold, Mr. Bond. All of my life, I've been in love with its color, its brilliance, its divine heaviness.
I think you made your point, Goldfinger. Thank you for the demonstration.
I work in any enterprise that will increase the value of my holdings. And I do not intend to let you or MI6 interfere with me.
Goldfinger, do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
You're forgetting one thing. If I don't call in, MI6 will send 008 to replace me. They know what I know.
You know nothing, Mr. Bond.
What about Operation Grand Slam?
2 words you may have overheard, which cannot possibly have any significance to you or anyone in your organization.
Can you afford to take the chance?
Welcome to Fort Knox, Mr. Bond. The pilot has turned off the seatbelt sign, and her pilots have dropped nerve gas on all the American troops. Now follow me.
I have to admire your determination, Goldfinger. All this to steal the gold.
Don't be silly, Mr. Bond. I thought you had more imagination than that. I'm going to irradiate the gold with a nuclear weapon. Nobody will be able to touch it for a century.
And the value of your holdings will skyrocket.
Exactly, Mr. Bond. But alas, you won't be alive to see it. Bring him ahead. Handcuff him to the bomb.
Freeze! CIA! Get your hands in the air!
James, are you okay? Let's get you out of here. Come on, James, let's move it!
Felix, I'm going after the bomb. Felix, I've opened the bomb. Any advice?
Yes. Don't cut the wrong wire.
Well done, James. Let's get out of here. We've got a plane waiting to take you to Washington. When the president invites you to lunch, you can't say no.
I must be dreaming.
Not anymore. Felix wanted to make sure you had a comfortable flight.
How long do we have?
It's another hour to Washington, but I've got to keep an eye on the autopilot.
Unless we were forced to divert.
That's a splendid idea, Mr. Bond. Go! Set a course for Cuba.
Congratulations on the promotion, Goldfinger. But I suppose it's a small consolation for failing to blow up Fort Knox.
You have interfered with my plans for the last time, Mr. Bond. Stand up.
It's dangerous to fire a gun in a plane, Goldfinger.
Go! I told you to change course!
I don't know what to say.
Say yes.
What about my father? What about Blofeld?
It's over. If MI6 wants to let him go, there's nothing I can do about it.
Get down!
Blofeld.
Tracy, get out of here.
Your aim was foolish, Mr. Bond. I could have told her Blofeld could not be trusted. That's why I called you, and why I resigned. It's ironic that fate has brought us together, Mr. Bond. Two men from opposite sides of the law. But here we are. I just want my daughter back.
All 3 helicopters are in position. We're 2 kilometers out from Blofeld's headquarters. Up ahead, on your left.
I see it.
Prepare to land. We're taking fire. Teresa!
Father! James! I'm so glad you're here.
How touching the whole family reuniting. Cherish this moment as it will be your last.
Are you all right?
Yes, but you haven't much time. Blofeld is going to blackmail the UN. He's brainwashed 5 women and programmed them to release something called the Omega virus in the world's largest cities, unless he gets paid off.
Why did he tell you all this?
His ego. He was bragging. It's all on a computer in his office on one of the lower levels.
You two, get out of here.
James, please, be careful.
Damn you, Bond!
Bond to MI6.
What's Blofeld's status?
Unclear. Presumed dead.
Shall I tear up your letter of resignation?
No. The letter stands. I haven't given you a wedding present yet.
I had an idea about that. 3 girls, 3 boys. Pleased?
Not bad for a start.
But darling, now we have all the time in the world. Anyway, you have given me a wedding present. The best I could have. A future.
James, where's Della?
I'm sorry, Felix. She's gone.
No.
Felix. Felix, I've got to get out of here before the police show up. Tell me, who did this?
Sanchez. Franz Sanchez. The Mexican drug lord. He suspects one of my agents is about to infiltrate his cartel. You've got to warn.
Who? I need a name.
Pam. Bouvier. Here. The data is on a card, hidden in my lighter.
Up ahead. Sanchez's operation is hidden in that heritage center. James, I don't know if I can do this.
Just focus on the mission. Stick to your cover story and you'll be fine.
Are you still picking up the feed?
Confirm. Audio and video.
Good. I'm switching to broadcast only.
Welcome to Mexico, Miss Kennedy. Or shall I call you Agent Kennedy?
Given that I've decided to double-cross the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, why don't we just settle for Pam?
Then Pam it is.
I believe that's yours.
$2 million.
I'm hoping you'll accept its return as a token of goodwill. A gesture of the friendship I hope to establish.
Indeed, I will. Come. I'll take you on a tour of my facility. Then we'll discuss the friendship you propose.
I want to show you one more room. Then we'll go upstairs to my office and finalize the terms of our friendship.
Señor Sánchez, un momento. Es importante.
Por supuesto. Will you excuse me for a moment? I'll be right back. Pam.
James, were you listening? I think we've got enough to hang him.
I still haven't found his terrorist connection.
His office is on the second floor. I'll keep him busy.
May you decide to betray the DEA. I knew all that from your blog. Tell me something I don't know.
Like what?
Who's that necklace broadcasting to?
Nobody. I was recording you to protect myself.
James! Help me!
Who the hell are you?
A friend of Felix Leiter.
Kill him! Kill both of them!
We've got to catch up with Sanchez. Let's get to the helicopter.
by distance. It looks like Sanchez has heavily armed resistance with him. Good luck.
When I'm through with you, I'm going to find your friend Pam. Fight, you pig! Come on! This. You did all this for an American?
No. All this for my friend.
Tanner to Bond. Your contact, NSA agent Jacinta Johnson, checked into the ICE hotel 45 minutes ago. She's waiting to brief you on the mission in the ICE bar. You'll need to find her.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's not our fault.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I just love your dress. I am so tired of these guys thinking that a woman can't run a company. Oh, I just...
Listen, I'm telling you, it's not our fault. The government could have done something to avert this.
Bond? James Bond?
You must be Jacinta Johnson.
My friends call me Jinx.
Unlucky in life?
Unlucky in love.
What have you learned about Graves and the Icarus?
We have to sneak into Graves' office before the demonstration. I'll bring you up to speed on the way. This shouldn't take long to install. That's it. I think we're done.
Hey, get a move on. Graves is waiting.
Yes, sir.
Remote uplink with Icarus has been established.
Good stuff. The uplink is complete. Okay. Come on, let's get to the demonstration.
Interesting way to wear diamonds.
His name is Zhao, North Korean spy. He murdered 2 of our agents last year. I'm going after him.
No, not yet. First we go to the demonstration, see how he's tied in with Graves. Then you go after him.
Imagine a second sun shining like a diamond in the sky. Let there be light! I give you Icarus.
What do you think?
Look, over there.
So, what do you think? Was your money well spent?
Impressive. But are you sure it will work in the field?
The demonstration was barely at half power. Now, why don't you return to the party while I go to my office and prepare for our next phase of operations?
Bond, we've identified those men with Graves. They're all North Korean military. Your orders are to seize that controller. That technology must not fall into their hands.
You go after Zhao. I'll follow Graves.
Try to stay out of trouble.
You too.
Is this what you're looking for?
Maybe you should tell me.
For too long, the Western world has interfered with the Korean peninsula. With the Icarus, I'm going to scorch your demilitarized zone, and the North will sweep down and unify Korea once and for all.
Is that your definition of helping the world?
For the North Koreans, it is.
The only problem is that your secret is out. I'm not the only one who knows about this.
You mean your American friend, Jinx?
James!
I fear she is about to be the victim of a tragic industrial accident. Are you still with me, Bond? I'd hate for you to miss the demise of your friend.
Next, Bond.
James! I could do with a little help here. Switch it off!
You're weak, Bond.
I could do with a little help here. Nothing like cutting it close, is there?
We have to stop Graves.
Let's go.
To my car.
Hurry. Let's hit him again. We have to get to the control room.
I'll take care of Graves. Can you handle the pilots?
No problem. Let's go.
Primary target coordinates confirmed. Commence countdown to automatic firing sequence.
I'm going to teach you a lesson you won't forget or survive. You can't win, Bond. Even if you kill me, the Icarus will go into failsafe mode. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Bond, you can't kill my dreams. But my dreams can kill you. Time to face destiny.
Time to face gravity.
Nice working with you, Mr. Bond.
Sometimes, you just get lucky.
Let's not jinx it.
Afternoon, 007. The CIA confirmed that their agent, Dr. Holly Goodhead, is still missing. At last contact, she was investigating the entrepreneur Hugo Drax at his spaceport facility on the equator. They believe Drax may have stolen some of NASA's technology for use in his space tourism.
I hope you're checking in with the CIA.
Who are you? What do you want?
Bond, from MI6.
How do I know this isn't a trick?
My only assignment was to find out if you were here. Enjoy your stay.
Wait. We thought Drax was stealing secrets about rocket propulsion. But it turns out he was after the bio experiments we ran on the space shuttle. I think he's trying to develop some kind of nerve agent, but I don't know why.
Maybe we'd better find out.
I thought you wanted to leave.
Things changed. Take a look at this.
Ah. This can't be. It looks like those pods are designed to disperse the toxin from the upper atmosphere. It would kill millions, poison the soil for decades.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're ready to go. Lift off.
How many shuttles does Drax have?
6, that we know of.
Let's hope he wasn't on that one. Let's find him, now.
Leave him alone! Get away from him! Put me down! Get your hands off me!
Welcome to Drax Space Enterprises. I suppose I should be flattered that MI6 would send such an experienced agent after Dr. Goodhead, Mr. Bond.
Personally, I'd be nervous.
Yes, spoken like a man who believes violence is the means to all ends.
And you don't? Or do you have some peaceful reason for killing off everyone on Earth?
You've heard of natural selection, Mr. Bond? Survival of the fittest? I'm sure Dr. Goodhead could explain. In either case, Darwin was wrong. I've decided it's time to clean the slate and start over, ridding the world of pestilence like yourself and Dr. Goodhead.
You're too late. I've already called in. There are troops on the way.
I think you're bluffing. But even if you aren't, I'll be long gone by then. You know, I had considered bringing the two of you along as breeding specimens, but you didn't make the cut. Take them away. Dispose of them.
James, help! Put me down! James!
Holly, wake up. We haven't much time.
What? Where are we?
In one of the blast chambers. We've got to get out of here.
Here, this should fit.
Thanks.
It sure is cold in here. Can I help you with something? Okay. I'm gonna see what else I can find.
You! Stop right there! This is a restricted area. I have an intruder in crew room 5.
James, catch!
I assume you still know how to launch one of these?
It's like riding a bicycle. You never forget. Here we go.
Minus 10, 9, 8,
Greetings to all. Welcome aboard your temporary home. Here in the untainted cradle of the heavens, we will create a new super race, a race of perfect physical specimens.
We have a laser confirmed lock on the target.
Come in, Tanner.
Bond?
What
are you doing on this frequency?
I'm with Dr. Goodhead.
Tanner, this is Holly Goodhead. I need you to contact Felix Leiter. Tell him to launch Operation Steel Heaven.
But Tanner, just do it. Trust me.
Automatic docking procedure activated.
From their first day on Earth, they will look to the skies and know that there is a law and order to the universe, and a God in heaven. want those launchers fixed, now. We're moving up the schedule. Congratulations, Mr. Bond. You've managed to delay my plans, but you haven't stopped them.
It seems to me you can't pull this off without us.
Is that so? Tell me, what do I need a spy for?
Sooner or later, someone in this room is going to envy you, betray you, and need to be eliminated. Who's it going to be? The captain? The co-pilot? Or what about him? Surely he doesn't fit your qualifications for a master race?
Stop it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's lying.
Am I?
Enemy ships, incoming!
Battle stations, now! Everyone, get them out of here. I'll deal with them later.
Jaws, you know I'm right. Let us go.
James, we can stop him from firing on the Marines if we shut down the artificial gravity.
It's over, Drax.
What? You expect me to give up? Return to Earth to be tried by my inferiors? Never.
You were right. It's not too late. Together we could rule the Earth.
I think not.
Starting to tear itself apart. Quickly, James. We're running out of time.
They're dead.
Patrice is on the roof.
I'm going after him. You follow in the car.
We've got him. He's trapped.
On a train.
What do you mean on a train?
Bond and Patrice are on the roof of a train.
Well, get after them.
Of the train, Mum. What are my orders?
Eliminate Patrice. He must not get away.
I'm in position, Mum. Lining up a shot.
Do you have the shot?
Negative. I do not have a clear shot. They're heading towards another tunnel.
Take the bloody shot. Now!
I'm in position. Negative. I do not have a clear shot.
the intelligence 007. Patrice will be on the 67th floor. Good luck, 007.
Patrice is dead.
Well done, 007. But there's still one piece of unfinished business. About your injuries. You should know that I ordered that agent to shoot. Even though she didn't have a clear shot. I'm sorry.
Don't say it. You did what you had to. We all do what we have to survive.
Very well, 007. Mr. Tanner will be calling you with your next assignment. Good luck, Bond.
Bond here.